I'm Joey deVilla. I'm a developer evangelist at Microsoft Canada, based out of Toronto.
Now, Joey, I understand you're called the accordion guy.
Yes, that's true.
Now, first of all, why the accordion?
I wanted to be a street musician, take it up as a hobby to meet people, and by people I mean girls. And I can't play guitar to save my life. I'm a keyboard player. I complained about it to a friend of mine, and he said, I've got an accordion in my basement, I'm not using it, take it, it's yours. So I took it out in the street, and I've been playing rock and roll accordion ever since.
You know, I heard some girls back there say that's hot, so it's working.
Good for them. Yes, awesome.
Now, Joey, what are you a developer evangelist for with Microsoft?
Well, I mean, I'm supposed to represent Microsoft to developers covering the entire span of the Microsoft platform, but that's a big thing. So every developer evangelist picks an area of focus, and mine is web and mobile. Basically, the un-desktop stuff that traditionally isn't part of Microsoft's traditional strengths, but we do have some great stuff, and I just want to get developers aware of how to build for these new platforms.
So for the web, what specifically are you interested in?
Web, particularly ASP.NET MVC. I like it a lot. I think it treats the web as it should be treated, like the web. And coming from a PHP and Ruby on Rails background, it feels a little more like home.
Nice. Now, why is it important for, especially let's say ASP.NET devs who are coming from web forms to learn? I mean, what aspects will they gain from learning it?
Well, for ASP.NET devs, who've been using classic ASP.NET, what they do is it gives them a chance to learn all kinds of things, particularly about work with JavaScript especially. It has been described by people like Steve Yegi as possibly the most important programming language in the world. I'm inclined to agree. Using ASP.NET MVC treats the web more like the web. You're actually working with real web pages and actual real web HTML tags and real JavaScript. It's more. It's been compared to driving stick as opposed to driving automatic. It's less chatty. There's less. They're less giant. There's none of this giant view state being ping-ponged back and forth. There's a lot of great stuff.
What challenges do you usually see from guys? Because as you mentioned, it is a bit chatty. Do you think is that what kind of most devs are like initially afraid of?
Well, ASP, it's classic ASP.NET that's a bit chatty because you have to move this view state back and forth. The real challenge is, of course, it's a completely different model. The idea behind ASP.NET was to make web development comfortable for desktop developers by making web development seem like desktop development. It's a little bit different. It's different enough that although ASP.NET does make it feel like desktop development, there's enough of a difference that it gets a little bit annoying. It's great for intranet apps or apps that have to behave a lot like desktops if you've got fancy grids and you're dealing with a lot of information. But there comes a time, many web apps I think are just better written in ASP.NET MVC. That's my own personal bias. You have to pick the model that suits you. But having come from Rails and PHP and the world that also uses Django and Cake and Catalyst, MVC feels like the right one for me. You have to pick the tools you like. I'm glad we offer lots of options.
Now, what do you think of web forms MVP? Have you heard of that lately?
Web forms
MVP, the model view.
Model view presenter, is it? Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't taken a peek at it yet.
Yeah.
It's one of those things I need to get around to. One of the great and bad things about the developer evangelism job at Microsoft is it looks like every week there's a new thing coming through the door, and you go, it's a lot of cool stuff, but it's a lot to learn. And yeah, it's just one of those things I need to get around to looking at.
I hear you. Now, you also mentioned that you are evangelizing or championing Windows Phone.
Windows Phone 7, that's correct.
Briefly, can you explain some of the maybe cool things to look forward to Windows Phone? What got you so excited about Windows Phone?
Okay, well, what's got me excited about Windows Phone is